heartache that comes from watching those in power actively tear down or refuse to fight for everyday working Americans like us. And I really get it. I was born in a working class family. My mom cleaned houses. My dad worked really hard to try to start a small business in order to do their best to give a better future to my brother and I. And, they worked really hard. And for a minute, it looked like our American dream was within grasp. We grew up and we really struggled, but my parents worked so hard. And it really started to feel like things were starting to work out. I worked really hard. I was able to get into college. And suddenly my dad was diagnosed with a really rare cancer out of nowhere. And by the time I was 18 years old, he had passed away. And I think this is an experience, while it is really difficult, I think a lot of us have had experiences like these where we work so hard and we are one event away from feeling like the whole rug got pulled out from under us.
You know what? I think y'all just wasn't paying attention to Trump's campaign. Y'all was too busy, Joel, keep trying to paint this man as a villain instead of listening to what he was actually saying he was going to do. Because y'all are caught by surprise and we're not. Why? Because we're actually listening to what Trump said he was going to do, and he's doing it. That's why nobody's out here surprised like you guys are.
And we shouldn't have to live like that. We shouldn't have to live like that. After my dad passed away, my mom then overnight was basically a single mother to 2 kids. She was cleaning houses. She started driving school buses. And when I graduated from college, I started waiting tables in order to help make ends meet. And this was right after the Great Recession, and folks know how hard it was to come by a job at that time. And so that's when I started waiting tables to make ends meet. And I know that we just deserve so much better than this. We do. We deserve.
It's crazy how she's like waiting tables, but it's crazy. She never supported Trump's no tax on tips. Ain't that crazy? Don't you think she'd have supported that scene? She used to live that lifestyle. Funny. But guys, go ahead and double tap that screen for me and like the video. Let's get more people in on the conversation.
So much better than this. And we're here together because an extreme concentration of power and corruption is taking over our country like never before. And we are here because we do know that a better world is possible. But to get there, we need to be honest about where we are right now. We are witnessing an oligarchy in America. And that is when those with the most economic, political, and technological power destroy the public good to enrich themselves while millions of Americans pay the price. And our political system is ill prepared for this abuse of power. In fact, much of our political system enables it, starting with the role of money in politics. To remind you, Greeley, that we are not powerless in this moment. People are starting to put the pieces together. And, I do think that, people are starting to put the pieces together. And in fact, ironically, most of the divisive forces in our country are actually bringing more of us together than ever before.
She's not wrong.
Part of the divisive force.
Y'all are the divisive force that done brought us together. Bruh. I mean, thank you for talking about yourself.
If not in part, then I would argue the whole goddamn thing is y'all being the divisive part.
Yeah, bro, the Democrats, y'all not know that y'all been the divisive force the entire time. You were guys telling people not to go see their family members if they voted for Trump. Remember that. And
beyond dividing the the parties across political lines. They've kind of divided their own party. You see how much infighting there's been since the fallout of the inauguration and the debate law, or I'm sorry, the election loss.
Yeah,
They really don't have a way to turn for real.
tough.
And that's important because the same billionaires are taking a wrecking ball to our country, and they derive their power from dividing working people apart. They specialize in getting us to turn on one another. And they get us to turn on one another along lines of left and right, race and gender, creed and culture. They will throw out every label and judgment and cultural debate in the book to keep us distracted. Because the last thing they want us to realize is that the division that is actually hurting our country the most is how endless greed is costing the lives of everyone else.
The only greed I see is honestly in our government. Like, I'm wondering the greed that she looking at, because the only greed I see is in our government and the fact that they are greedy to keep our tax dollars so they can spend it on, frivolous things. Is it a kickback, or is this an ideology that the American people don't align with? So where, sweetheart, where?
Want us to think that our lives are suffering because of the LGBT kid down the street, or because of the mixed status family or the dreamer down the block who's just trying to make a better life for themselves. But we're smarter than that, Greeley. We know better than that. And I understand that this kind of disdain that the wealthiest people in this country have for the working class doesn't just come from them not being raised right. It's shorthand for the right wing's entire political agenda and a certain ugly kind of politics.
Does AOC not know that our lack of tariffs right now, our lack of tariffs and our lack of trade low key with these countries is what's hurting the middle class? It's like you're trying to say that he has no heart for them, but he's low key fighting for our middle class. And let's be real, the rich need the middle class as well. But Trump is actually fighting for the middle class with tariffs, with getting these countries either to lower theirs or to get some of these corporations to bring their business over here to America, which in turn bring jobs, which in turn help middle class.
A politics that involves lying to and screwing over working and middle class Americans so that they can steal from our health care, Social Security, and veterans benefits to pay for tax cuts for the wealthiest and bailouts for their crypto billionaire friends. And you know, Greeley, there's a word for this kind of thing: corruption.
Yeah, no, there's a word for this type of thing. It's called slander. That's what you're doing right now. So instead of just telling us, oh, well, they're trying to cut money for their crypto billionaire friends, how? What, through starting a crypto reserve? Something that would actually help our dollar out a little bit, or, help us hold more assets in the United States? Like, where is this going wrong for? Like, who is this honestly hurting? Like, us getting involved in the crypto is not hurting the middle class. Us having a reserve is not even helping these crypto millionaires. You know that, right?
And I know how seeing all of this stack up, from how overwhelming and selfish all of this is, from seeing the notifications on our phone popping up. Monday, the Department of Education being rolled back. Tuesday, trying to end birthright citizenship. I get how all of it can make us feel despair. And I get how even it can make the best of us feel like giving up and giving in. And trust me.
Yes, AOC is the main defender of, if an illegal family come over here and have a kid, that's birthright citizen, right? That's birthright citizenship to her. And she don't think that we should be able to take that kid and send her off with their parents when they deport them. All right, now this is what I'd ask her. All right, then what do we do with the kid then? What, we just put him in an orphanage in America? Because we can't, the parents can't stay here, and we can't have these anchor babies, so.
That is by design. That is by design.
And make sure to like the video, guys. Let's get more people in on the conversation. Let's push the conversation. So go ahead and double tap that screen for me with the 3 dots up there. You can go ahead and super chat any question, comments, jokes. I'll read it out loud, engage with it, and post to the top of the screen.
When the system is stacked against you, it's hard to feel like anything you do matters. It's hard to feel like we matter in this democracy. And it is easy to give in to despair. And I can tell you that for a while there, when I was working double shifts, tired to the bone, I did try to give up. I tried to stop caring. I tried to just keep my head down and work my shifts and accept that this is just it and this is how things are. But that is no way to live. It's no way to live. And what I do know is that we do not have to live like this. In fact, we cannot live like this anymore. And I'll say, Donald Trump does see the immense pressure that working people are under. But his answer is an America that operates on the principle of every man for himself.
How is bringing back manufacturing to America is every man for themselves? That don't make sense. If it was every man for themselves, like, actually, how do you even like conceptualize that in this economy? Every man for themselves when we're all one working like system. You know, like, come on, they need the middle class workers to even have their things get into production or have their products moved or the services provided. So they're like, what every man for himself are you talking about? I really want to understand where she's coming from with this instead of just saying it and getting clapped and getting, yeah, you go, sis. I'm like, no, sis. Somebody actually ask her these questions.
Divide and conquer. And now that Trump is back in power, we see it clear as day. He's handed the keys to Elon Musk and is selling off our country for parts to the wealthiest people in the world for a kickback.
How? That's all I want to know. Explain yourself then. How is he doing that? Because you guys can't rationalize that. You can't. Tell me how he's doing it instead of just saying it, because we can rationalize how y'all doing it in Congress. It's like, yeah, when Doge looked into y'all, the spending, the budget that y'all control, we found out that y'all was spending it on stuff that nobody really aligned with. So if anybody was getting kickbacks, it was y'all. If anybody was spending our money fraudulently or giving it to rich people, it was y'all.
In exchange.
Hold on. Y'all lost hella manufacturing jobs and gutted the middle class, raised inflation. Bro, if anybody helped the rich, it was y'all.
Those billionaires and oligarchs will back his campaigns and bankroll those of his allies. They scratch his back and he scratches theirs. And all of us are left behind. And the clever thing that these guys sell is making working people like you and me believe that we're just one step outside from that club. That we're just a little bit out from being able to be a billionaire too, right? Any billionaires in this room? I didn't think so.
What type of negative perspective is that? Like, oh, they're feeding you the dream that you could be a billionaire too. You can. Yes, you can. You can be a billionaire one day. If you provide the right service, yes, you can. If you figure out the right product, create the right invention, build the right app, code the right app, it's like, yeah, you could become a billionaire. It can happen for you. It's just you got to work really freaking hard. Jeff Bezos been working really freaking hard all his life to build Amazon. Elon been working all his life to build Tesla, SpaceX. The billionaires, why don't y'all go look up their history and you will see that they spend all their fucking life to become a billionaire. It was like a life dedication to them. And a lot of y'all ain't that fucking dedicated. So y'all need to sit the hell down and stop acting like it's luck.
Now, it's this idea that if we just work hard, we too can have nation state level money. At Except these kinds of spoils aren't earned, really.
Bro, how? Tell me how they're not earned. I need to hear it. Because did Elon not make an app and earn millions of dollars? Did this man not bring innovation into EV, not bring innovation into space travel? Like, bro, what Amazon guy? Did he not just rework the way we order our products, completely revolutionized it? Like, bro, I mean, the guy who owns all the Louis Vuitton, the Gucci, and all the designers, bro, he took his time to acquire each and every one of those and make his own stuff. It's like, yeah, this is a lifelong dedication of these people. Don't get mad that they profiting off it. It's hating. Man, why don't you do your own thing?
They aren't working for these billions. They're stealing them.
How? Y'all hating.
They're stealing them.
How?
They're stealing them from you and me.
Bruh.
Just look at what Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doing to our health
The cap.
Bro,
Stop the cap.
care, our veterans benefits, and Social Security. They are slashing programs that we and you have spent a lifetime paying into. And by the way,
slashing programs, you mean the fraudulent spending in those programs? Or we don't even say this, the wasteful spending in those programs. We're paying to Social Security numbers that are 200 years plus due to them being recycled. So yeah, that's what we're cutting. We ain't cutting benefits to the people. We're cutting the wasteful spending. But hey, if y'all want to see that as cutting Social Security, I mean, shit, bro. Hey, yeah, y'all find a way to frame anything. We could do, like I said, bro, we can cure cancer and they'll tell us we're villains for doing it. It don't make no sense.
not them, because those billionaires haven't paid their fair share of taxes in years. And mind you, even if you're not on Medicaid or Medicare, this also raises your...
Let me tell you guys something. You want to know how these billionaires low-key get off on taxes? Like, you know, you get tax breaks for having land, providing housing, and having employees. You get tax breaks off those alone. And I think there's also like a payroll deduction you get as well. I believe. But those three for sure, I know you get tax breaks on. And billionaires, they have plenty of these things. So yeah, that tax break kind of works in there. That tax breaks kind of work in their favor. There's other things that they do as well with the write-offs, losses, and all that good stuff. But let's be real, they're following the tax code. Trust me. If they weren't following the tax code, we'd have been locked their ass up. But sadly, we got loopholes in the tax system that a lot of people don't know about.
private health insurance costs too. And let's talk about Medicaid and Medicare for a second. Because your representative, Gabe Evans, you know that guy that hasn't been showing up for the last couple months? Maybe he hasn't been showing up because he voted to cut Medicaid. In fact, every single House Republican.
Or maybe he didn't show because he didn't want to hear this childish ass stuff. It's like, I would be a little upset if I'm like, yo, we cut wasteful spending out of Medicaid. And we're trying to get it back to the people. And you're telling the people that we're cutting their Medicaid and Medicare.
Bruh.
But if you look at the CR bill, we've raised Medicare by $600 million. And if you look into it, the only thing we cut out of Medicaid was the fact that Medicaid money was actually being sent to a department in the Department of Homeland Security. Yes, Medicaid was funding a department in Homeland Security. We cut that. I don't see anything wrong with that, but if you do, shoot, please rationalize it for me.
Republican voted to cut Medicaid. And they'll tell you, no, I didn't. It didn't say that. But here's what it is. They voted on a budget that cuts $880 billion from the committee that's in charge of Medicaid. And so now
hold on, ma'am. There are multiple committees that's in charge of Medicaid. You know that, right? Multiple committees are in charge of Medicaid. And I know which one you're talking about. You're talking about the Committee of Energy. And yeah, but there are also other committees like the Ways and like the Help Committee, the Ways and something else. What's it called? The Ways and Earn or something like that. But there are two other committees that control Medicare and Medicaid. So us cutting funding from one of those committees doesn't mean we cut complete funding from Medicaid. No, it does not. It just means we cut funding from that committee and it was redistributed among others. We're honestly trying to take the bureaucracy out of Medicaid and Medicare. Because why the hell there 3 committees on it? It don't need that much committees, and that's what Trump is saying. And we're like, yo, yeah, we'll go ahead and cut you guys out the deal. Y'all go deal with your own thing because I'm gonna be real with you. The Committee of Energy works more than just Medicaid. They do a lot more than that. Their money goes to a lot more than just public health. So why not cut them out the equation and move the money down to people who can allocate it better instead of having 3 different committees allocate to just one cause? It don't really make sense.
Trying to play a game and say, we didn't do that because they did by proxy, okay? So let's set the record straight. And you see, these budgets aren't just fights about numbers. They are fights over the values that define us as Americans. Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security were built on promises that we have made to each other about who and what kind of country we want to be and what kind of society we want to live in. Healthcare and Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security, these are not promises from politicians to people. They are not charities or handouts from billionaires to the working class. This is our money. They are promises that we have made to each other as Americans. From neighbor to neighbor, teacher to student, friend to friend.
I mean, all right, promises. So you guys promised us transparency a while ago, but we need Elon to go find out where our tax dollars been going to. Here's the thing. Y'all can no longer talk about transparency or these guys stealing our tax dollars when y'all wasn't even trying to be real with us where our tax dollars were going. I mean, the Department of Education is one good example. $250 billion of taxpayer money funded, only 25% go to the student. Y'all don't want to answer for that? Y'all just want to complain, oh, they're cutting the Department of Education. It's the end of schooling. No, the hell it's not. But y'all don't want to address the real problem, the fact that only 25% of our taxpayer dollars that we're putting into this damn department is going to children. Why not 75%? Why aren't all our children actually getting at least a private school level education due to the fact that there's $250 billion put into that shit? It don't make no sense.
And what we can say to Elon Musk is get out of our healthcare. Because to me, Greeley, the strength of our country is not just measured by the height of our best days. It's measured by who we are and who is there for us on our worst.
Hey, y'all wasn't there for us on our worst. Bro, we were going through a complete economic downfall, and y'all was telling us everything was good, and we shouldn't even be talking about it. Y'all was telling us we were uneducated for even speaking on the fact that the economy was going down. What do you mean? Y'all are the same people that abandoned the American people when the immigration problem was getting out of hand. You want to call us racist? Bruh. Really? Okay.
And that's why I'm here with you today. So let me share with you exactly what I mean. Because what these folks want to call radical and crazy, I think are just common sense. We live in the wealthiest nation in the history of the world. So I believe that when a person gets sick, they shouldn't go bankrupt. Common sense. I believe that a minimum wage should cover the minimum cost to live.
Here's the thing, sweetheart. Don't ever talk about all these, we should be spending money here and there. We're just such a richest country, but you guys are okay with wasteful spending. You are okay with fraudulent spending. You cannot sit here and talk about social services that we need to pay into, but you're not willing to cut spending in our government to go ahead and allocate to those services. It's like y'all low-key got to shut the hell up. Like I said, after Elon went in there and exposed the spending that y'all was allowing to happen, y'all can no longer say anything. What do you mean? Bro, if y'all really cared about this, y'all really cared about healthcare and all that, why the hell were we sending millions of dollars outside the country to go fund LGBTQ agendas? All that could have came back and helped with healthcare. Ukraine, y'all hardline on Ukraine. Fuck it. All that could have came back to healthcare. There's a lot of things y'all hardline on that we could have been talking about healthcare a long time ago, but now y'all want to bring it up now. Y'all don't really give a damn.
Common sense. And by the way, we should see that not paying a living wage is also a form of corporate welfare and handouts. Because big companies like Walmart and Amazon rely on food stamp programs and public assistance to cover the wages that they won't pay.
But here's the thing, though. Y'all also want them to have those public assistance. Y'all also want them to be on food stamps. You will cry and moan if we sat there and got rid of that today. If Donald Trump said we're ending that today, y'all would sit there and be like, yo, whoa. So who does it benefit? Because does it benefit the people or does it benefit the corporation? Or is it both? Because if it's both, then oh well. It is what it is. Like, it shouldn't have been erected in the first place, but here we are.
Greeley, here's another crazy radical idea for you. I believe that homes are not slot machines for investors and Wall Street.
Agreed.
To extort working families out of every last dollar that we have. Home.
I'm be rich. I got to give AOC this one. I will give her this. There is no way the Trump administration should have let BlackRock, one, buy the Panama Canal and also buy homes. That should all be stopped immediately. But so I'll give her that one.
Is sacred. And when your landlord doubles your rent overnight, or when housing prices skyrocket because Wall Street treats our housing market like a casino, your government and your public servants.
And guys, you have any questions, comments, disagreements, or jokes, please, $2 and up. I'll go ahead and read it out loud, post it to the top of the screen. Hey, man, let's have a good time with this. Appreciate the support. And double tap that screen to like the video, man. Let's get more people in on the conversation.
Should fight to help you keep an affordable roof over your head. How's that for crazy? And I believe that our elected officials should take on abuses of corporate greed everywhere we find it. We must get big money out of politics.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, y'all okay with big money in y'all politics, though. Y'all okay with big money going through y'all party. But when it goes through Trump's, now y'all got a problem. Oh, shit. Like, here's the thing now. I would say this. If she was to come out and say, Democrats, we need to follow our own league and get big money out of politics so we can demand the same of the Democrats, I'd have been like, hey, sis, cook. You're holding yourself accountable and you're saying, nah, we need to do better than them. I'd have respected that position. But to just blatantly, but to make it look like it's only us that's taking billionaire money, nope. That's not it. Come on now. Don't frame it like that. Soros, come on. Jamie Dimon, come on. Dude, actually, most corporations in America predominantly donate to the Democratic Party. Most corporations in America donate to the Democratic Party. They're really the ones who receive billionaire dollars, but they're talking about us. Good Lord.
And Greeley, that's why I don't and never will take money from industry lobbyists or corporations. You know, mass media and Fox News and the right will have you believe that these American values.
Mass media and Fox News, sweetheart. I mean, mainly mass media is speaking for y'all. Most of mass media is on y'all side. So it's probably only Fox News who y'all can really talk about.
Values are something out of the Communist Manifesto. They believe that we think these things because we went to some fancy college and read them in a book somewhere. But I'll tell you, I don't believe in healthcare, labor, and human dignity because I'm an extremist or a Marxist. I believe it because I was a waitress. Because I've scrubbed toilets with my mom to afford school.
Okay, that's great. And here's the thing: you're saying all this, but why didn't you come out with tax on tips? Why didn't you come out with lowering taxes? Since you came from the bottom, you should know the struggle of the American people. How come Trump is speaking more to the middle class than you, AOC? That doesn't make sense to me. You came from a way harsher background than Trump, but Trump is speaking for the very people that you came from. How does that make sense? Then where were you making these policies with Kamala Harris, then being like, yeah, we should probably follow Trump because that's helping the middle class? If it was all about the middle class, then where was those policies that Trump are talking about? Really?
Because I've worked double shifts to keep the lights on, because I lost my dad to cancer as a kid and had to see my mom open hospital bills in the days after. And I don't want us to live like this anymore, Greeley. We deserve better than this. And this isn't just about Republicans. We need a Democratic Party that fights harder for us too. Communities choosing and voting for Democrats and elected officials who know how to stand for the working class. And I want to thank the entire state and each and every one of you for working so hard to make that happen. And I'll tell you, when people...
Here's the thing, though. Like I said, they don't care about the working class, bro. If you think they care about you, like I said, why didn't they come out with no tax on tips? Why didn't they come out with no tax on overtime? Why did they wait for Trump to do it? Actually, it's kind of funny. Why were they losing manufacturing jobs if they cared about that? Actually, hold on. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Do you understand, like, their whole plan was to take from the rich, right? That was even going to gut the middle class even more. You know, if you take from the rich, where are they going to go to avoid these new taxes? Oh, to another country where they can still get into our country with barely any tariffs, because the Democrats, they don't believe in tariffs. They don't believe in them. So if anybody, I ain't gonna lie, the Democrats work for the billionaires the best. Think about it. No tariffs, but they're allowed to go out the country, outsource their business to escape our high taxes that they want to impose on them, to go ahead and still sell into our country, but without providing us any jobs. I mean, yeah, guys, you're on the wrong side. Democrats, you are on the wrong side. You're really on the side who are helping the billionaires screw the middle class over. But I mean, trust me, we understand y'all don't see that. CBS is a bitch, I know.
Want to think that there's no hope out there. Trust me that there are moments of bravery that are emerging. Last week, Republicans put on the floor a Drake.
And guys, here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing. If tariffs are so bad, why are there tariffs on our products in almost every country in the world? Why are these countries tariffing our products if it's such a bad strategy? Why? Can you answer that? Of course not. Like I said, it's like, do you not know that? Well, let's talk about Canada. 250% on what, our honey? Like, really? Like, come on now, explain that. If tariffs is such a bad thing, then why do other countries use tariffs on us? Can you explain that? Of course you can't. It's all about hating Trump and hating whatever idea he comes out with. No real substance to your argument.
Draconian, awful budget bill that cut billions from healthcare and from working people. In fact, one of the worst parts of what Republicans voted for, including Gabe Evans voted for last week, is cutting benefits for the PACT Act for veterans exposed to burn pits. Who does that? That's like cartoon villain stuff right there. And,
cartoon villain stuff is hilarious.
You know, but I will say, Colorado, that when...
Make sure to like the video, guys. We got 50 plus y'all in here, man. Let's get it to 25 likes. So go ahead and double tap that screen for me and like the video. Hit the 3 dots up there in the corner. All right, let's go.
Other Democrats caved. Your senators, Michael Bennet and John Hickenlooper, stood strong against the DC pressure and voted no. They said Colorado deserves better than this. Thank you for putting in that work. And in fact, all the Democrats in the state of Colorado in Congress who represent a congressional district in the state voted against that bill too. House, Senate, everybody. So I want to thank Diana DeGette, Joe Neguse, Jason Crow, Brittany Pedersen. Defend them, Colorado. And don't stop there. I want you to look at every level of office around and support Democrats who fight, because those are the ones who can actually beat Republicans. But our work isn't done here, because you know which Coloradans did vote to gut Medicaid and jack up healthcare costs? Gabe Evans and Lauren Boebert right next door. So folks, you know what that means, right?
What does that mean?
We need to come together and spend every day between now and Election Day working to educate our neighbors and give Evans and Boebert the boot and replace them with a brawling Democrat who will stand for Colorado.
So here's the thing, though. They're pretty much going out on this is because the whole CR bill got passed. And what they really wanted, I guess, was a government shutdown. Government shutdown, who'd have heard who? Oh, the middle class. So like I said, the same middle class they claim to be protecting, they try to destroy every step of the way, which is absolutely hilarious. And shout out to and for y'all that was talking about, there's no 250% tariffs. Well, farmprogress.com. Man, how Canada's 250% tariff impacts U.S. dairy? Yes, 250% on U.S. dairy and honey. I mean, bro, look it up now. Look it up.
In fact, if you will indulge me for a moment, since Gabe hasn't been around here, if we could just say hi to him for a moment, can we just say hi? See you in November. Thank you. I'll make sure he sees that. But beyond elections, Greeley, our task here is to build community. That's the deeper mission that we have. Elections, they come and go. We do our work. We set the board. But in the meantime, and during, throughout, before, and after all of that, we need to build our bonds with each other as communities.
I mean, that's hilarious because y'all was the exact same people telling people to not engage with their community if they voted Trump. Y'all can do to stay away from family members if they voted Trump. So y'all want to talk about unity, but y'all been the most divisive party, like, honestly, in history. I mean, man.
Building community, block associations, neighborhood groups, volunteer groups, church organizations, PTAs, because community is the most powerful building block we have against fascism, to defeat authoritarianism, and to root out corruption. If you don't know your neighbor, it's easier to turn on them. That's why they want to keep us separated, alone, and apart, scrolling on our phones, thinking that the person next to us is some kind of enemy, but they're not. So I'll end where I began. We might all come from different places, but we share a lot of the same experiences. So to all of those who came here today unsure of whether this is where you belong, I want to tell you that you do. You do. Honestly, no matter who you voted for in the past, no matter if you know all the right words to say, no matter your race, religion, gender identity, or status, no matter if you disagree with me on a couple things, if you are willing to fight for someone you don't know, you are welcome here. If you are willing to fight for working people, regardless of who they are, how they identify, or where they come from, you are welcome here. But I will say this. leaders on either side of the aisle who are willing to put their fellow Americans down so that they can get ahead or feel better about themselves, those folks may best find a home somewhere else. Because in this house, we stand together. We know that that it's our only choice. Because we know that without exception, if we stand together, it is the only way that we can win. So I hope that you see this movement is not about partisan labels or purity tests, but about class solidarity. It's about the thousands of you.
Solidarity. I mean, look, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Y'all have no plan to help the middle class, but y'all have all the criticisms of Trump's plan to help the middle class. And then Kamala's plan to help the middle class would have gutted the middle class. So what y'all honestly saying is, well, we don't like the fact that it's Trump's idea, so F it. We're gonna try to overturn it and try to spite them at every step of the way. And it's petty, it's childish. After the State of the Union, we kind of know what your energy is. Like I said, this man could literally be on a mission to help America, and y'all would try to thwart it every step of the way. So, I mean, think about it like this. I mean, in the chat right now, they're getting mad about me for mentioning the tariffs that Canada has on US. And they're over here giving the same argument that I gave, saying, oh, Canada does it to protect their economy. Yeah, so why can't we do the same? And here's the thing y'all forgetting about tariffs. It gets us to go with local sellers, go with local services, which is going to what? Help the middle class. I mean, y'all don't know anything about helping the middle class because you're too busy trying to hate Trump.
Who came out today to stand together and say our lives deserve dignity and our work deserves respect. No matter who we are or where we come from. We are here today to make a sacred promise to each other. Because our goal here today, and what I don't want for us today, what I want more for us today, is not just to come together, share a few inspiring words, and then go back to how things were. Can't do that. Our goal here today is to commit to building the kind of country we all deserve. So I'm going to take another second here.
And how have y'all committed to doing that? You guys were in power the last 4 years, and you ain't done none of that. Nothing. I mean, you made the country more divisive. You made the country more poor, more in debt. Like, put us into inflation, lower, like unemployment in the middle class was crazy. What? What are you talking about? You had 4 years to enact this vision that you're talking about, and y'all failed. Like, what? Nah, y'all gotta sit down. Y'all gotta sit down. It's okay. Like, bro, at least give Trump like 6 months before y'all come out with rallies like this, okay? Give the man 6 months.
And I want each of you to turn to the people around you and get a good look. And I want you to greet someone you don't know. And this is awesome. And I think I don't want to interrupt. But it's because if I can offer one assignment today, before we all depart here, it's to leave this place connected to a new person you didn't know coming into this. Because really, we do need to make that promise. We do need to take care of each other on our worst days and to share the successes of our best. And in making those promises to each other, that's how we're going to do it. No silver bullet, not from the top, but block by block. So thank you.
All teeth, no substance. It's like she only made one good point. One good point, and that's corporations buying up single family homes. That's the only thing she actually brought up. Everything else, I mean, like I said, it's just criticism what Trump's doing with honestly, with no other way or with no other ideas. It's like, this is the problem. You guys lack ideas. Tell us your vision then. It's like what we did with Kamala. Like, Kamala has a good way of telling us what she wants, but no steps. There's no steps there. Trump gives us steps and the plan, and y'all complain about it. Y'all have no plan. What's y'all plan? Please tell me, besides criticizing Trump and Elon, what's the plan?
For having me. And it is my honor to introduce to you.
You're acting like we just want to hate y'all, like we just want to disagree with y'all. This is not something that we're just forcing ourselves to doing. This is not an echo chamber, even though y'all may not believe it, but it's not. I'm literally trying to hear something from you, but you're not really giving me anything but TDS. But Trump bad, Elon bad. I'm like, all right, cool. I can hear that, but where's your solution to prove that their ideas are oh so bad? Give us a better solution then. If you tariffs are so bad, give us something better than tariffs. You can't. Okay, well then shut up. All right, cool. If Doge is so bad, give us something better than Doge where the people can actually know where our taxpayer money is going to. Oh, you can't? Then shut up.
You. The senator, the man, the friend, the person who has helped bring all of us here together today. Senator Bernie Sanders.
Guys, and if you really, let's be real. Leaving the corporate tax at 28 instead of cutting it down to 15, that's why these jobs are leaving for countries that got lower corporate tax, which is hurting the middle class. Like I said, bro, you do not understand that taxing the rich is not the answer. It's not the answer y'all think it is. We tax the rich as we've been doing, and they've been leaving, going to other countries. We tax the rich, and they take industries across the damn ocean. So taxing the rich is not the answer, and it's been proven not to be the answer every time. So y'all keep talking about something that don't work because one, this is a free capital market. We don't control our billionaires. We don't sit here and force these people to do business here. We allow them to go overseas, build companies there, and be able to sell into here with no tariffs, which is not a good idea, but they can do it.